Hello to everyone. Magandang hapon, magandang gabi, magandang umaga. Kung anong oras nyo man mapapanood itong video na ito. By the way, this video is about addition and subtraction of similar fractions. And I'm planning po to make videos like this, tutorials in mathematics, in as often as I can, especially on my days off. Now, ang tanong bakit? Bakit ko ba ito gagawin? I have two goals po. First one, to be honest, of course, I want to have at least 1,000 subscribers in YouTube. Right now, I just have two. And I hope po very well that you can help me grow it. And then the second one, whether or not I'll be able to achieve my first goal. Okay lang, walang problema doon. Second goal naman is to be able to share some knowledge in mathematics to students out there na medyo nahihirapan sa asignaturang ito. And para sa akin na rin na hindi mga lawang sa pagtuturo kasi at least just for this school year, I decided po to rest muna from teaching. Currently, I'm an employee in the BPO industry. To be more specific, I'm currently employed at Teletech Pampanga, which is hiring right now. Kung kayo po ay naghahanap ng trabaho, especially young adults out there, ang pinaka-minimum requirement lang naman doon is high school graduate. Kung maiisipan nyo mag-apply doon, baka naman, magawa nyo akong referrer. And I promise, whatever incentives ang makuha ko doon, 50-50 tayo. Sa atin lang yun. Bago pa tayo lumayo sa aking gustong gawin talaga today, let me formally introduce myself to you. I am Teacher Joel. Nabanggit ko na nga po kanina, even though I'm not an employed teacher either in the public or private sector this school year, allow me pa rin po to call myself a teacher. Kasi kahit pa paano, I have the license naman to teach. Teacher Joel. Ayan. Nababasa po ba? Or medyo malabo? Malabo ba? Parang kayo? Hindi, biro lang. Huwag mawawalan ng pag-asa. Gat may buhay, may pag-asa. Alright. I actually have a presentation ready para sa topic natin for today. Pero I'm not yet a master in using OBS. OBS yung gamit ko pang record nito. I will have to cut it from here muna. Then idudugtong ko na lang yung recording ng discussion natin. Pag-aaralan ko pa itong OBS na to. Maybe there's a way na hindi ko kailangan mag-stop ng recording. Tuloy-tuloy. Pagta-transition. Para hindi na tayo mag-edit pa. Isahang video na lang. Baka may makatulong sa akin dyan. Makakapanood sa video ko. Okay, i-post ko muna siya dito. Alright, let me just set it up. There. Like what I've said earlier, today we'll be having addition and subtraction of similar fractions. First, what are similar fractions? Napakadali. They are fractions na may parehong denominator. Yung sa ilalim ni fraction bar. Sir, what if po we have here 5/7? Pagpasensyahan nyo na yung aking background. Medyo may pumupukpok, ano? Yes, meron yatang konting kinukumpone sa kapitbahay. So please just bear with me. I hope I'm still audible anyway. Going back, sir, what if po we have here 5/7 and 5/10? They have the same numbers on top. Do we consider them as similar fractions? Definitely no, because what we will just need to look is what they have at the bottom, and look at them. They are not the same, therefore they are not similar fractions. And here are our objectives for today. At the end of this lesson, You should be able to add or subtract similar fractions without regrouping and write your answer in its simplest form. Tara, umpisahan na natin. But first, I want you to keep in mind the following. Here's what you need to remember when you add or subtract similar fractions. Number 1, check natin if pareho yung denominators ng mga fractions natin. In this case, do they have the same denominator? 3/10 and 5/10? Yes, of course. So, check na tayo. So, number 1. Next, number 2. After checking if they have the same denominator, we now proceed to the operation. Ano yung operation natin dito? Addition. We add or subtract only the numerators. Yung mga nasa itaas lang daw, yung ating mga i-add or subtract. And what do we do with the denominators? We just copy. In this case, you know already, we will have an answer of 8/10 or read as 8/10. Ayan. But are we done yet? We're just done with steps 1 and 2. What about step number 3? It says, write your answer in its simplest form. Our answer is 8/10 or 8/10. Now, I want you to think of this. Sa palagay nyo ba, meron or pwede nyo pang i-divide si 8 tsaka si 10 ng parehong number? Can you think of a number that you can divide both the 8 and the 10? If there is, we need to simplify our answer and divide both of them by that same number. In this case, class, by the way, I am using this inverted division house. This one, I just inverted it because it is what is used in the method I will be introducing to you now. I am introducing to you now, rather. We put inside the inverted division house the numerator and the denominator separated by a comma, and think of a number that you can use to divide on both of them. Let me give it to you in here first. We can actually use 2 to divide 8 and 10. And how do we divide? Just the usual. You read it first on the inside. 1 by 1, we start with 8. What is 8 divided by 2? You know the answer is 4, right? But how do we really get the answer 4 when we divide 8 by 2? You can use this technique, class. You just skip count by 2 and count how many times until you will reach 8. For example, how many 2's are there in 8? You just skip count by 2 until you reach 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. There, we reached 8. And how many 2's did we use? 4. And that's how we got the answer 4 in 8 divided by 2. And then the same thing with 10. You ask yourself, how many 2's are there in 10? But again, class, I repeat, when we read this division, we should start reading from the dividend o yung sa nasa loob ni division house. We read it as 10 divided by 2, but when we answer it, you think of how many times or how many 2's you can get from 10, and that is 5, right? There. Now, from here, I want you again to think of a number na pwede nating ipandivide. Pareho kay 4 and 5. Meron ba? If you are thinking of 2, you are just partly right because we can divide naman the 4 by 2 and we will get 2, right? But what about the 5? Can we divide the 5 by 2? Technically, the answer is yes. Pwede nating i-divide si 5 by 2. The answer will be 2.5, right? Just a decimal. But take note, what I need in here are whole number answers. Okay? So, if I tell you that, do you think we will have a whole number answer if we divide 5 by 2? Of course, we will get 2.5. Meaning to say, there is no number anymore that we can use to divide on both of them. Therefore, that will be our final numbers already, and that will be our final numerator and denominator of our simplest form of our answer. 4/5 or 4/5. And there's also another way how we can do this. And before I tell you that, this one is actually called, the method that we just did is actually called the continuous division method. From the word itself, tuloy-tuloy na pagdi-divide hanggat pwede. Ang hindi lang natin pwedeng gamitin dito pang divide class, remember, is 1 and 0. Bakit hindi pwede si 1? Because it will just keep on giving you the same numbers. Hindi kayo matatapos. And why naman hindi pwede si 0? Because we cannot divide by 0. Answer will be undefined. There. This is another way, and it's just okay. You can actually, kung mabilis naman kayo mag-isip ng number na pwedeng ipang-divide, the highest possible number na pwedeng ipang-divide kay 8 and 10, you can just do it here beside your answer. Divide both the 8 and the 10 by 2. You get the same answer as well, 4/5. And I hope you're following. Next, we have here subtraction naman. Maging maingat, class, ha? Especially in the operations that we use. And sa lahat ng bagay, dapat maingat tayo. Hindi lang sa addition and subtraction of fractions. Sometimes, we know what to do eh. Alam natin yung gagawin. It's just that we're careless. We don't seem to look first at what is given before we perform it. And so, what will be the result of it? Mali, yung magiging sagot natin. Kaya, maging maingat tayo. In here, as you can see, it is subtraction. Same thing. Tignan natin kung pareho yung denominators. Pareho naman, it's 24. So, we proceed to step 2. We either add or subtract, depending on what the given operation is. Subtraction siya. So, 17 minus 5 is, I know, you know it, it's 12 over 24. Same thing, we just copy the denominator. And the third step, don't you ever forget this one. You are just half right here. Not completely right yet. She wrote it in its simplest form using the continuous division method. Inside, we put the 12 and the 24. Lagay natin sa loob si 12 saka si 24, separated by a comma. And kaya nyo bang isipin yung pinakamataas na number class na pwede nating ipang-divide kay 12 and 24? It's better. It's better if you know what the biggest number in here that we can use to divide. It's actually 12. And if we do that, napakadali lang. How many 12 can we get in 12? We get 1. What about in 24? We get 2 12s in 24. Final answer here, class, is 1/2. Eh sir, paano naman po kaming hindi ganoon kabilis makapag-isip ng pinakamataas na number na pwede namin ipang-divide? Well, walang problema dyan, class. Oh, look at 12 and 24. Isip kayo, kahit anong number yan na pwedeng ipang-divide sa kanila. Pwede yan. We can do it step by step. Don't you worry. If you are not that good yet and looking for the highest possible number we can use to divide the 12 and 24, it's okay. You can start with the smallest possible. In this case, let me tell you, we can use 2 actually. And you ask yourself, how many 2s can you get in 12? Skip count kayo. Sige nga, ilang 2 ang meron sa 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, anim, sa 24. Doing it, you will know you will get 12 2s in 24. Now, it's continuous division method. Ibig sabihin, hanggat pwede, tuloy-tuloy tayo magdi-divide. Look at 6 and 12. Do you think there's still this number that we can use to divide on both of them? Again, kung hindi nyo alam na 6 ang pinakamataas pala na pwedeng i-divide dito, okay lang. We can again use the 2. Yes, pwedeng paulit-ulit. Hanggat pwede, walang problema dyan. Let's divide again. 6 and 12 by 2. What do we get? How many 2s? Ask ourselves, how many 2s can we get in 6? We get 3. In 12 naman, we get 6. And I hope you're following. And so, there, sir. I'm done. That's it already. Are you sure? Look at your final answer there. It's actually 1/2. Alam mo na yung sagot dyan. So, ibig sabihin, you're not done yet. There's still this number that we can use to divide 3 and 6 both by. And what is it? Si 2 ulit? Sa palagay nyo, pwede ulit si 2? Parang hindi naman pwede si 2 kay 3 eh. How many 2s can you get in 3? Isa lang. Tapos, may remainder. Pwede lang siya kay 6. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na natin pwedeng gamitin si 2. Kasi hindi pwede sa dalawa. Ano pa ba kaya yung pwede? Si 3 baka pwede, subukan natin. How many 3 can you get in 3? Isa, diba? What about in 6? How many 3s can you get in 6? Dalawa. So, pwede siya. Look at our answer, what we got here. It's just the same, right? 1 and 2. So, hindi talaga mahalaga. Actually, if you know how to find the biggest or the highest possible number in dividing, mas maganda. Pero kung hindi naman, walang problema dyan. You can do it step by step. What matters more is the process, not the final outcome. Because at the end, you'll just get the same there. And I hope that helped. Now, I want you to grab a clean sheet of paper or a whiteboard kung meron kayo. And I want you to do this with me. We have here 4/15 plus 5/15. Notice may S sa dulo. Kasi class, 4 is more than 1, right? As well as 5. Kailan lang walang S kapag binabasa yung fractions natin? If the numerator is 1, 1/4, 1/5, 1/6. Kasi, ilan si 1? Isa lang. Rule in English, kapag isa lang, singular, huwag mong lalagyan ng S, di ba? If it's more than 1, meaning it's plural, you put an S with it. Are you done already copying this? Okay, let's do it together. We have 4/15 plus 5/15. You know, we just need to copy the denominator. If that is easier for you, agad-agad, i-copy nyo na yung denominator. We have it, 15. So, ano lang yung gagawin natin? Add the numerators. Even though it's 9. 9/15. Now, class, let's practice simplifying. Sa palagay nyo ba, meron tayong pwedeng ipan-divide kay 9 and 15 dito? Pwede ba si 2? Definitely no. What about si 5? Let me just erase this one. Si 5. Oo, sa 15. Pwede siya. But what about with 9? Hindi. Magkaka-remainder tayo. So ano? If you are thinking of 3, then you are thinking it right. Because we can actually have how many 3s in 9? Tatlo. In 15, we can have 5. Now, just to double check, meron pa ba tayong pwedeng ipang-divide sa dalawang ito? 3 and 5? I think wala na. Pwede naman si 1, pero sabi ko nga, we don't use 1 kasi uulit lang tayo ng uulit. If we divide this and we got 3 and 5 respectively, therefore, what 9 became and 15 became here will be put respectively in the numerator and the denominator. So we have 3/5 in our final answer, or read as 3/5. You must also know the spellings of our fractions, ha? For the denominator, we use the, ang tawag dito, ordinal form of the number. Yung may mga TH, may mga RD, may mga ND. 3/5. Ayan. Hindi 3/5 ha. It's 3/5. Kayo, tandaan nyo to. Kasi minsan may nakikita ako sa Facebook, nag-greet ng monthsary. Sasabihin, happy 3th monthsary. Where in fact, this should actually be RD or third. Now, I want you to learn from this. Simple lang naman siya. Hindi ako English teacher, pero kahit pa paano gusto kong maibahagi sa inyo yung mga alam ko. Mga simpleng bagay na ito na matututunan natin sa eskwelahan. Ayan. At tatandaan natin, ano? At nang hindi na natin maulit yung ating mga pagkakamaling mga nasasabi noon pa. It's no problem. There's nothing wrong anyway in always wanting to improve yourself, right? So instead of this one, know that this is the correct one. And just don't forget to box or circle your final answer. Bilisan natin ng konti. Nang hindi, kung papanoorin nyo man ito, ay hindi kayo magtatagal manood. Before we proceed to my other examples, here are a few tips, class, para mas madali yung pagsisimplify sa inyo. Number 1, if both numbers are even numbers, they can be divided by 2. Pag sinabing both numbers, I mean the numerator and the denominator. Kung pareho daw silang even number, then they can be divided by 2. Edi, alam mo na sa sarili mo, you can divide 8 and 10, both of them by 2. We get 4 and 5 as the final numbers. And for our final fraction answer, it's 4 over 5, or 4/5. Whatever even number that is, 44, 68, as long as a number ends in either 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, it is an even number and it can be divided by 2. 1,006. Ayan, yung mga ganyan number. 1,000,000 ends in 0. It's an even number. Next. If both numbers naman, class, are ending in either 0 or 5, then they can be divided by 5. Example, 25 and 30. Look at what their last digits are respectively. It's 5 and 0. So meaning to say, we can divide both of these numbers by 5. Simplifying 25 30ths. Ang basa dito is 25 30ths. We will have how many 5s in 25? 5. How many 5s in 30? 6. Final answer will be 5 over 6 or 5/6. As long as the number ends in 5 or 0. 715. Ayan, kahit anong number yan, basta it ends in 5 o kaya 0. You can divide it by 5. Next, number 3. When you add the digits daw, kasi, yung mga multiple of 3, medyo complicated, di natin masyadong memorize lahat, diba? So, here's a technique for your class to identify if a number is divisible by 3. For example, if I ask you, is 512 divided by 3? Baka may ma-encounter kayong ganitong fraction. 512 all over 711. Are these numbers divisible by 3? How would we know? Napakalaki nila. Kung mag-skip count ka, it will take you maybe hours to find out. Well, there's this technique to find if a number is divisible by 3. Pag-add mo lang daw, class, yung mga digits ng number na given na yun. 512. Is 512 divisible by 3? Add natin. 5 plus 1 plus 2. That will be 6 plus 2 is 8. And look at 8. Kapag ba ikaw ay nag-skip count by 3, makikita mo si 8. Kung hindi, meaning you cannot divide 512 by 3. Si 711, kapag ba pinag-add si 7, tsaka si 1, tsaka isang 1 pa, anong makukuha natin? 9, di ba? And lilitaw ba si 9 if you skip count by 3? Yes. Well then, therefore, you can divide 711 by 3. Example here, 15 and 27. What is 1 plus 5? 6. Si 6 ba makikita when you skip count by 3? Meaning, pwede mo siyang i-divide by 3 sa 15. Si 27, what is 2 plus 7? It's 9, di ba? So, pwede rin siya. Divide by 3, we get 5/9. And the last one, technique I could share to you is if both numbers end in 0, like 70, 80, it's here, like 70 and 80 rather, which in fraction is read as 70, 80, we can divide both of them by 10. We get 7 and 8 as the final numbers for our final fraction answer, which is 7 over 8 or 7/8. Now, let's continue. Do it with me again on a clean sheet of paper or your whiteboard. Let's do 19/20 minus 14/20. Take note, it is subtraction. So, what we can do here actually is we can right away copy the denominator. It's 20. Now you know that these are just what we need to operate. 19 and 14. Subtract natin. If you are finding it hard to subtract it horizontally, well then do it vertically. 19 minus 14. 9 minus 4 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. So I wouldn't have to put it anymore. You know, the answer here is 5 over 20. I know you are thinking already that 5 and 20 can both be divided by 5, right? You are so right. Now let's do it. How many 5 in 5? Of course, there's this one. What about in 20? How many 5s can we get in 20? We can get 4. Answer is 1 over 4 and 1/4. Circle it, square it, box it, however you want it. Napakadali lang, hindi ba? Yes, and for our final example, do this one also with me. Anong operation? Anong operation? Pag magmamadali, maghinay-hinay lang, you take your time. You have a lot of time. We have here 12 over 32 plus 8 over 32. When added, we will get, you will get this, 20 over 32. And you just help me simplify this kasi napakalaki. Tignan natin kung pwede bang i-simplify. See, 20 over 32. Pwede ba kaya natin siyang i-divide by 2? Check natin. Are they both even numbers? Yes, 20 is. It ends in 0. As well as 32 because it ends in 2. Meaning to say, we can divide them both by 2. 20 and 32 divided by 2 can be done as well. And we will get here, how many 2's can we get in 10? In 20 rather. 10, right? What about in 32? If you'll do it, if you'll do the skip counting, you will know you can actually get 16 2's in 32. But there's actually a faster way to do this. Pwede naman si 2. It's just that you will again be using another 2 here to divide, and you will get 5 and 8 as your final numbers here. May mas mabilis. If you know what the biggest possible number is already, well, just use it. It's 4 actually. And how many 4's do we have in 20? 5. In 32, we have 8. 5 and 8. Meron pa ba? Wala na. And that will be our fraction already. Respectively, for 20 and 32, it's 5 over 8 or 5 eighths. Ano spelling ni eighths? Merong mga ibang nalilito dito eh. Ito si 8 ay iilan sa mga denominator natin na medyo naiiba yung pagka-spell natin sa kanila. 5 eighths. You just spell the regular number 8. Then just add an H and an S. Wala nang, hindi na siya TH mismo ang i-add natin. Kasi may T na sa dulo. Si 8. Okay? And I hope you're learning so far. Because right now, please be honest, I want you to practice this on a clean sheet of paper maybe. In your free time na lang kung gusto ninyo. Because anyway, you can pause this video and try doing this on a clean sheet of paper. Then once you're done, you just resume it and check the answers at the last part or in the last part of this video. Ayan, you may pause and copy. And to whomever who was able to watch this video, thank you for your time. And I hope you'll be able to help me grow my YouTube channel, which currently just has 2 subscribers. If you happen to have the time, kindly visit my YouTube channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like, so you'll be notified once I upload a new video. And I will try my best to upload videos as often as I can sa mga day off ko. At ito ay umpisa pa lang. See addition and subtraction of similar fractions. Let's see how far we can go from here. Siyempre, medyo confident pa lang naman ako na ituro ay yung mga naituro ko na in my years of experience as a teacher. And let's see if I will also be able to cater and teach other grade level topics, especially grades 8, 9, 10, high school math. Tingnan natin, ano? Siyempre, kailangan ko rin mag-prepare at humanap muna ng resources. Ayan. I hope I did not take too much of your time. Thank you for listening. And I hope, even just for a little, you learned something from me today. And just please forgive my background sound. Meron mga kumakalabog, pumupukpok, pero kahit papaano sana ay narinig nyo naman ako ng mabuti. Ayan, eto na yung mga sagot. And I want you to be honest. This one will not be recorded anyway. You correct yourself from your mistakes. Kung ano man yung mga mali ninyo, i-correct nyo yung sarili ninyo. But whatever you got, I want you to honestly comment it in the comment section. So I'll see how much you've learned from today's video. Alright? Thank you. Thank you again so much. And I'll be back in a camera view. I will just have to cut it again in here. Okay, there. Welcome back again. Ayan. Please forgive me po. I have this one last request. Kung sa palagay ninyo, alam nyo na yung topic na ito, paki-share man lang sana sa palagay ninyong kailangan ito. And thank you in advance for that. Tapos, to all the teachers out there, especially po sa mga naging guru ko, lalo na sa asignaturang matematika, please know that I'm very open to suggestions and corrections. Corrections, especially if you think there's something wrong that I have said in the video. Please just let me know in the comment section, or you may message me or what. And I'm not perfect anyway, so it's okay. Ang importante, we are always aiming to better and improve ourselves. Diba? Tapos, let me just end this lesson by giving you a simple life lesson takeaway sa topic natin. Especially yung doon sa part ng pagsisimplify ng final answer natin, di ba? We always want our answer to be written, our fraction answer to be written in its simplest form. Let's at least try to be those fractions. Let's always aim to just live simply. Because in that way, maybe we can live happily. Of course, we all have different statuses in life. Iba-iba yan. And the meaning of this may vary on whatever it is that you have. Kaya lagi lang natin tatandaan, wag natin masyadong pahihirapan ang buhay ng isa't isa. Kung kailangan pasimplihin lang, wag nang gagawing komplikado pa. But also remember that as you live simply and happily, don't you also forget to dream immensely. Lalong-lalo na sa mga working students diyan. Alam ko yung hirap ninyo. Pagpatuloy nyo lang yan. Sabi nga nung isa sa mga professor ko sa college, English professor, sabi niya, hindi ko ito nakalimutan tumatak talaga sa akin. What is 4 years of sacrifice compared to 40 or more years better living? It may not be his exact words, Sir Layug. May not be his exact words, but at least I know in my heart that was what he meant with those of what he said to us then. And it was really very helpful. Ayun. And there, I think that's it. The end part of this video. And just see you all in my next videos. Subukan natin na makagawa pa ng maraming ganito. Alright? Everyone, I hope you have a great one. Have a good day. And bye!